Lovely looking spot. Well, the whole place is really, a whole complex is a maze of lakes.
First 40. First 40. What a fish. That's the new PB common. Get in.
Nice one.
In case you didn't realise, we're in the middle of a storm.
One epic trip. Finished off with another lovely fish.
Belly pool.
This is us.
This is the one.
Lovely looking place.
Wow.
It's a lovely looking spot. Well, the whole place is really, a whole complex is a maze
It's
of
awesome,
lakes.
isn't it? It's completely out of the way.
Where do you start? Everywhere is a spot.
Everywhere.
Beautiful
Oh,
though.
it looks really nice just under that tree, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And straight across there as well.
And there, and there, and there. Wow. That's carpy.
Looks amazing. All of it's carpy, Joe. All of it. Got the heron going over.
I've always seen kingfishers, herons, all sorts of birds. It's just
It's full of
beautiful.
nature.
Frogs, they're going to keep us up.
Yeah, there's a lot of frogs.
I guess with this being such an intimate little water, that's probably one of the shortest walk-arounds ever.
It is.
It all just looks incredible.
There's thousands of opportunities.
And we've only got 3 days to find at least one each.
Yeah.
Where are we going then?
I guess we're going to have to flip for it, aren't we?
Sounds good. Go on then.
Right. I haven't got a coin, but I have got a trusty lens cap.
Fine. Sony side up. Got the left side.
Yep.
Sony side down. Right side.
Sounds
I'll go
good to me.
first.
Okay.
Guess I'm in this side then.
Yes, you are.
I'll take that.
All right, let's get set up.
Set up and have a beer.
Yeah. That's good, that, isn't
Now
it?
for a cider drinker, I am very much enjoying this Jupiler.
Yeah,
Belgians know how to make a lager.
they do indeed.
And apparently, it makes you see clearer, which is,
I feel like we may need that.
we may need it indeed. It's such a small venue with so many opportunities. You feel like you could be here for weeks and struggle to find the perfect spot. So
Yeah.
I think it's just a case of putting rods on likely spots and
Well, there's so
it
many
pays off.
likely spots. There's so many little gaps within the lily pads, and all of them look really good.
exactly. And now we've split the lake in half, so we've got our areas. I guess we can fine tune it a bit more. And having a look around it's just kind of finding places where I think the fish are going to want to be. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's the same in yours. So I mean, I'm going to have
yeah.
a single rod just there. There's a little channel going between the lilies, which
Mhm.
it just looks a bit unnatural with the fact that there's a pad bed there, but there's a little gap in the middle. I think.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
it's
looks a definite patrol route, doesn't
Rods
it?
going there, and then again round in the main bit of the swim, one just off some lilies, and there's a lovely looking snag. There's like a snag, a little gap about this big,
Mhm.
and then a lily bed. I think if I get a rig in there.
Yeah.
But also because it's such a small venue, I don't want to be fishing to far banks because that's just going to cut my swim off for
Yeah.
fish that are going to be aware of line. They
Mhm.
come round there, there's line bowstring tight across. It's
Yeah,
going to
they're gonna
off.
spook
So
off,
I'm
aren't
going to
they?
fish fairly close in and hope that gives them the freedom to roam
Mhm.
round.
Yeah, because I mean, there's not lots of fish in here either, are there? So it's about an acre in size, and there's 25 fish in here.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. It's not bad odds, especially when they're quite a decent size as well.
To over £40, I would take any bite out of this session.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here for 3 nights, but you've also had a bit of knowledge from the owner
I have.
on
Yeah.
one of your spots.
Yeah, there's a little spot just in front of us, and it's been known to do the big one a few times. So it's well worth persevering with
Yeah.
that spot, I think. And we've actually had a bait package as well, supplied from the owner himself.
Now this is what they're reared on, so this is
It
something
is,
they're used to.
yeah.
This is something you can pick up if, when you get here, you want to use some of the stuff they're reared on, they're used to, probably less wary of, then you can get this. You can bring your own bait, of course, but local knowledge is always something to go by, and if you know that they feed on this stuff, then it's stupid not to go for it.
I think he said there's about 16 ingredients in
something
in the
like
mix.
that,
So
lots of nutrition,
lots of
something that they enjoy, and your part of the lake as well. You can see it's full of naturals, so it's got to be something very enticing for them to choose our hook baits over anything else.
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of nice spots that I found as well. There's a really nice overhanging tree which probably comes out about 10 foot, so that they've got to be getting amongst that. And then there's a nice clear line through to kind of the far bank, which again, it just looks perfect. It looks like they've been patrolling up and down it.
Definitely.
So it's well worth trying a few little spots like that, I think.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm itching to get the rods out already.
Yeah,
We've only been here about an hour, so let's get cracking.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Wow, 15 minutes this rod was in the water. Thoroughly expecting this to be a long waiting game. It could still be from now on, but the first rod I lowered into position, which looked like a little channel through the lilies. Just a single Ronnie rig, nothing around it, and within, I think, 20 minutes, one of the most violent takes I've ever received. It pulled the rod almost off the rest, picked up into it, and the alarm kept ringing for a good 5 to 10 seconds more. The alarm was running that fast. Beautiful little fish. By no means the biggest in here, probably a quarter of the size, but I'm very, very happy to get off the mark, and a beautiful fish it is too. What a scrap, what a fish, and what an amazing place. Roll on the next few days.
So before I even managed to get some bait out for my third rod, the first one, which is on the supposed big fish spot, tore off. And what a lovely fish it is. Again, it's not the biggest in the lake, but still over 22 pounds. Can't ask for much more after a couple of hours. Crazy. Such an amazing looking fish.
Just turned up at Mint Pool, spent the first 20 minutes stalking and noticed some feeding bubbles in the corner, so cast out, and while I was setting up the tent, within 15 minutes it went roaring off with this 29.8. It's my first time abroad, so very, very happy with this beautiful mirror. It's a lovely looking fish. Just as the guys finished taking the picture of the last one, and they were almost back to their swim, and the same rod went screaming off with this fighter. He went straight into the reeds, so it's a bit of a battle, but he's a beautiful ghosty, 13.4, a really interesting face.
So we're fishing down here at Carpinsula. I'm joined with Angler Alice on Mint Pool, and this is my first fish of the day, 23-pound mirror. Alice has had two already, up to 29.5 pounds, so she's beating me at the moment, but hopefully I'll get a couple more.
Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Great. You're not going to believe this.
Has it done it?
It's done it. It's £40, 14 ounces. Yes!
Well done, mate.
First 40.
Fish.
First 40. What a fish. That is one of the few things that's going to wake me up this morning.
The sound of a boiling kettle and a clinking mug will get you up.
Yeah, perfect.
I need it a bit milky, I'm afraid.
That's fine. It's wet and warm, isn't it? Perfect.
got to be an innuendo in there somewhere, but it's too early and I'm too sleepy deprived to say anything.
What was it, 2 or 3 hours sleep at most?
Something like that. Frogs were keeping us up.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like that before in my life.
No.
Thousands of frogs. But luckily in amongst it, there were some screaming delcums and screaming sirens.
There was indeed, yeah.
That kept us awake as well.
Yep. So 3 fish between us.
That's now 5 fish out of a lake that only has 25 fish.
Yeah.
And the first night. I think that's pretty good going.
Been here under 24 hours. Not bad at all.
Start with the smallest one.
The 29?
Yeah, get the little scamp out the way, and then we'll move on to the bigger ones.
Move on to its parents. So here we go. This is the smallest from last night. Immaculate 29-pound common. What a beautiful fish. Absolutely full of spawn. Awesome looking fish. Let's get this one back to the water, do a few returning shots, and then let's go and have a look at Joe's.
Well, here we go. This one actually went off between Luke's 2 fish, and you saw a lovely 29 common he just had, and we're about to get out a proper gem that he's had as well. But I had to get in on the act as well. Lovely 33-pound, 2-ounce mirror off of a margin spot that I liked the look of yesterday. Gave me a right old merry dance in the fight, went round the bay into the back of a tree. Somehow, miraculously, I got it in. Absolutely mega fish. Put up a hell of a scrap in here, they do. And just blown away. The fish in here are just stunning. Thank you Carpinsula, thank you Belly Pool, thank you Belgium. Definitely need to be coming back. That's how you splash.
And here she is, the biggest of last night, and actually my biggest ever fish, ever carp. 40 pound and 14 ounces, first ever 40. What a place Carpinsula is, and Belly Pool. It's an honour to fish such a place. Awesome carp, awesome surroundings. Carp fishing don't get much better than this. Incredible. Just showing the other side just before we slip her back, and it's just an enormous fish. It's going to make a lot of anglers very happy in the future, I can tell. The fish in here have just been going from strength to strength over the last few years, and it's just going to carry on that way. So this explains everything that the carp specialist is about. Moments like these, big carp in amazing locations. Does it get much better? Let's get her back. Yes! Come on!
The morning seems to have absolutely flown by. I don't know about you, but whether it's the lack of sleep or just the busyness of filming all the fish and getting everything shot. But it's been awesome, and we've just had Jelle in the swim talking about the fish that we've had, talking about spots. There's a few spots we're going to change to, at least I am, but there's one to my right and one just behind the camera is a hard spot, which I'm going to try later on, put a bit more bait out, because it'd be stupid not to take local knowledge, and I think you've got another spot to try.
Yeah, my left-hand spot, just a little bit further down the margin. Apparently it's a nice hard spot. So again, like you say, local knowledge is key, and these guys seem to know the lakes inside out. So. Yeah.
We seem to have done well with the initial hit. I think we've sort of caught some of the carp off guard sort of thing, because it hasn't been fished for the last week, I don't think. So a bit of bait, they probably weren't expecting it, and we've hit them pretty hard, because we've had 5 fish out of 25 on the first 12 hours.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good going, and even they were saying that people can book here for a weekend, and we've already exceeded that, so we'll take that.
Right. Yeah.
There's still more fish to come, of course, fingers crossed. Yeah. But the fish that we have caught, we've just found out a bit more about as well. Let's start with your big one, of course.
So my big one is actually the biggest in the lake. It's known as Lucian, and yeah, it's just spawned. So a couple of weeks ago, it would have been quite a bit bigger.
Yeah. So you could class that as unlucky, but your first ever 40, the biggest in the lake.
I don't think a 40 is ever going to be unlucky.
No, definitely not.
So I think it was out at about 46 pounds last time.
Only a month ago.
Only a month ago, yeah. It was caught a month ago. But it's only actually been caught 3 times in the last 3 years.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, quite honoured to catch that.
My 33 was one known as the barrel.
The bucket.
Bucket, I got that wrong again.
Yep.
The bucket, and it's actually the biggest weight that one's ever been out at as well. So that one was carrying spawn, yours wasn't. Your common was carrying spawn. So some of the fish seem to have spawned, some of them haven't.
Which I think that's kind of worked in our favour, because
Yeah.
it seems the ones that have spawned
Are on
seem
the
to be
munch.
on the munch, and the ones that haven't spawned are also on the munch,
Yeah.
ready to spawn.
Definitely. So weights are fluctuating on how they've been out previously, but any fish is a great bonus, and to be fishing here is just insane anyway. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful place.
There was also that 22 pound that I
22,
had.
that's probably the most special one of them all,
Yeah,
really.
apparently it's quite a rare fish, and it's only done 2 captures, including myself, in the last 8 years. So quite honoured to see that,
Yeah,
really,
so
and
if that
it
ain't
was
good going, I
a
don't know what is.
beautiful fish. So
We went through his phone gallery, we've seen a few other fish which we've got our eye on, and if we get any of them, I'm sure either of us will be absolutely overjoyed. Already are, but any more fish would just be a bonus. But as I said, sun is now high in the sky, bite time seems to have been and gone, so rods in, bait out, and then we're going to have a wander, see how everyone else is getting on,
yeah,
see what the rest of the venue has to offer. We've just got back from our walk around the whole complex. Been gone for probably a good 4 or 5 hours actually, so the lake is well and truly rested. We put in a fair bit of bait before we left on all of our spots that we're going to be fishing, and the rods are now back out. I'll talk about a few little tips and tricks that I've been doing this session that may or may not have been helping me get the bites, but certainly not going to harm. But we started off by walking to Mint Pool, where Alice and Ben are fishing, and they had a couple of fish yesterday. Also had a mid 30 pound grass carp last night, and while we were around there filming, I saw this little koi swimming around, rather lethargic. I thought, I'll have him. They said that they were struggling to get anything to entice it to take anything, but I thought, give me a rod, give me 5 minutes, and I did manage to winkle it out on a 3-line hook with a couple of little mealworms on. So lovely little fish. Went back, and it was nice to see him something a bit different. So there is variety in these lakes, and that's mainly the key thing. And you move on to Origin Pool, which is where Mark's fishing with a couple of his friends. Bit trickier, got sort of smaller holes and pockets in the weed where you've got to find your spots, maybe boat them out or be extremely accurate, and just got to be on your rod and ready for when that opportune moment comes up where a fish comes across your spot and takes your bait. So very different to this one, whereas this is more lily pads and sort of low-lying silt, not too silty, but finding spots which are slightly nicer. That is well and truly more of a weedy lake with little patches. And then moving on to King Pool, which is just behind us, which is predominantly the catfish pool. There are some more carp in there as well, but there's a couple of guys on there fishing for the catfish, and as we were walking around, one of them had another one. I know that Luke went and filmed one the other night, which was quite a bit bigger than that one. But as I say, we're now back in our swim, and I've got my rods back out. And a few little things I've done on this session, which I feel may have given me a bit of an advantage, and Luke adopted them as well, just to make things as unconspicuous as possible. Because this is such a small and intimate water, which probably sees quite a lot of angling pressure, I didn't want to rouse the suspicions too much that we're actually here. So we didn't want to use sonars or anything or lead about too much. Just like the look of spots and put the rods out. And a few other small little things I've done is, firstly, my bank sticks are much further back than I would normally have them on a lake. Normally people set their rods up at the front. Because this is so small, and I'm picturing the fish patrol these margins quite a lot, rods right back so there's not casting any kind of shadow over the lake. The same on all of our rods, so the tip of my rod isn't even off the end of the bank. Plenty of line space, it's not going to touch the bank or anything, but if any fish is swimming past, it's not going to see a silhouette of a rod and think there's something up. Next, I'm using completely slack, well, not slack lines, but getting as much more line on the bottom as possible. This one is fishing to a far snag over there, and once I put the rod in, quickly put back lead on, and managed to whiz a back lead over to the other side of the lilies. So now I know that my line from the other side of the lilies to the snag is on the bottom, and then the rest of my line is actually running across the top of the lily. So there's no line in the margin, and the line the other side of the pads is all on the bottom. The other rods, back lead to the margin, straight out to the spot. So as little line in the water as possible, as completely out of the way so fish aren't going to come in contact with it. And lastly, because I'm fishing snags and things, I'm fishing locked up tight. And because I don't want my rods to be flying off, which they almost did yesterday, I put in some pegs on the reel. Stop it from going anywhere, just turn that off, pull it tight, that's not going anywhere. It's stuck on the pegs, but when I come along, I can pick that straight up. So I'm not going to lose anything, not going to give the fish much room at all to get into any of the snags, fishing safely, effectively, and hopefully coming into the second night, something else will slip up.
So I've just got my other 2 rods out, and before I get my third out, I thought we'd have a quick look at the setup that I've been using. Now, firstly, you're going to notice I'm using stone rather than a lead. This is because there's actually a lead ban on this water. A pack of 12 of these stones are provided when you first arrive, and if you need to buy any more, you can buy them on a stone by stone basis. They have swivels embedded within the stone, and they work exactly the same way as a lead would do, so you can use them on safety drop-offs exactly how you normally would. The rig I've been using a helicopter setup for a starter, and then just a simple blowback rig. This is my margin spot that I've been using, with just a couple of tiger nuts, which I've baited quite heavily over with a natural particle mix. And this has been doing the fish. Nice and simple, but still very effective. So we've just came into the second morning, and at first light I got woken up by this amazing looking creature. Definitely not the biggest in here, but when they look like this, does it really matter? It was caught from literally 2 meters behind me, and it seems to be all the margins are really paying off here. What a lovely looking fish, and a few years time it's going to be a belter.
This was one of 5 between us last night. The first one was a little tiddler, so we slipped him back, but we slinged 3. This was the biggest at 27.4. So it's a lovely chunky mirror. Beautiful fish. It's our second night at Carpinsula. Our double brace from in the night, so 2 mirrors. We also got a grass carp and 2 tiddlers as well. So successful night.
So Alice and I are coming to the end of our first international fishing trip here in Belgium at Carpinsula. We've been fishing the mint pool and we've had some good fish, haven't we?
We've had some beautiful fish. I think we're just trying to count how many we've had in total. I think we've had 11 with 10 being carp. So 2 grass carp and some beautiful fish. Just wanted to say thank you to Jelle for creating such an amazing place. There's so many sneaky spots, ideal for stalking and finding those little bits, those carpy special spots. And thank you to Mark from the Carp Specialist as well for organising all of this.
Well, Mark, we're coming into our final night here. It's going to be our 3rd night. It's been a very productive first couple of nights, so hopefully something else happens tonight. Well, something happened for you actually as well.
Yeah.
It's been a bit tougher on your pool, but tell us a bit more about the place. It's stunning, but I think you've got a bit more info than what we've given so far.
Yeah, we're at Carpinsula. It's in Belgium. It's just 2.5 hours from Calais, and it's a place hidden in nature. It's an abandoned natural reserve from back in the days. Jelle, the owner, had worked for over a decade to prepare this. Every fish that's in here, he knows it from this size. So it's just his big little project. Because I say little because we're having up here 5 small lakes. They're all about 1 acre. 4 are open for fishing at the moment. We have 2 specimen lakes. You guys are on belly, doing a belly pool, doing a really good job. I'm on the original pool. Bit hard for me. I think I had to get a revenge, but maybe tonight. Next to that, we have an action lake called Mint Pool that Alice is fishing at the moment, and we have the King Pool with the big catfish, with 5 catfish over 2 meters and 40 in total, and 15 of them are the albino ones. So it's such an amazing place.
You've seen a few of them so far, and catfish aren't for everyone. Can't say that for me, but for some anglers they want to go for them.
Yeah, and if you like to go for, because it's so close to Calais, you can just go here for a midweek or a weekend as well, or a full week if you like to go out there and definitely want to spend some more time. As I said, it's hidden in nature. Every lake, you have all the privacy you need, and that's also always was one of the main things when Jelle started this. It was bringing carp fishing and nature together, with leaving the smallest footprint as possible. So yeah, that's also the toilets are eco. You have you don't have electricity at your swims, but yeah, if you hear the surroundings.
Yeah, well, it's testament to what he's done there. The place is absolutely beautiful. Completely different to anywhere back home. I've never been somewhere this remote, and you probably see the mosquito bites on the arm thing. That's all part of it, and the noisy frogs at the moment as well. But it is you're so away from the rush of life when you're here. It's a beautiful place.
It's a really beautiful place to spend a couple of days.
Definitely. And I think the barbecue might be just about to get lit.
I think so.
I can almost taste the beer, so we'll call it quits there and go get some food.
Let's go for it. So look at this, the last day at the Origin pool. We tried everything we could. We actually were getting a bit worried, but in the end, Mitch just caught this beautiful, stunning mirror. What a way to finish your trip. It's 26.7 and wow. Hopefully for the last night we're gonna catch another one, but this is already a really good start.
Let's hope, we will see.
Get it back.
Nice. Need a new stick.
12.
Yeah?
31-12.
That's the new PB Common. Get in.
Nice one. This storm is right on top of us now.
Yep.
So,
let's get this done. Ooh. In case you didn't realise, we're in the middle of a storm. This rain seems to be getting a bit heavier. So, coax her back. There you go. Just shy of £32 of Belgian common. What a brute. Back to her little home. Cheers, Joe. What a trip. What a trip.
well, there we go. Coming into the final evening, we've just had the barbecue, come back. It's starting to get dark. As you probably hear, the frogs have woken up, and so did my left rod. I've been watching the other two rods getting liner after liner, thinking one of them's going to go off. And then this one, which was on a fresh spot last night, it's been out there for probably going at 40 hours, just not touched it. I knew it was looking good out there, and it's gone off at 29.4. Not quite another 30, but this is my third fish out of Belly Pool. Been a bit slow since my first two fish, and I made up with that. Up early in the morning, packing down, driving to Calais and back to England. So to finish on this, I'm more than happy. Thank you once again, Belgium. You've been great for an epic trip. Finished off with another lovely fish. Mwah.
Back in England.
Now a sofa, that's a different kind of sitting to sit in a car, isn't it?
It is very nice. Yeah,
Got some food. The morning kind of got away from us. It was a pretty busy one. Run out of time, I think, with 10 minutes spare for the Eurotunnel.
I think so, yeah. We're up at about just gone 6, packing up.
And that was tough. That was hard going, getting up that early.
Especially when you know it's bite time as well.
Exactly. It looked spot on with bites this morning. The weather was perfect. The spots looked good. I was getting liners. It's painful to bring the rods back in. But I think we both in 100% agreement that place is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Oh, we had an amazing time there. Was it 8 fish in the end and
8 fish.
Average was way over 30.
The biggest at Lucien.
Lucien at £40.
The one I had last night actually was a named fish as well. Peach and pepper it was called.
Yeah.
At 29.4. So and that was another good weight as well. So we've done really well and also caught fish at good weights. So definitely need to go back. At least try some of the other lakes as well.
There's so much to go for there, and I can't wait to go back really.
Yeah, and a huge thank you to Jelle for having us there at Carpinsula.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Please do go and follow them on Instagram and check them out and book yourself up there because it's an amazing place. And of course to Mark as well.
Mark at the Carp specialist, he's brilliant host, brilliant arranging everything. So we just had a really good time. Definitely. Really good time.
Now I can smell my KFC. I'm done talking. we're done talking. So hope you enjoyed the video, but yeah, definitely go and check out Carpinsula.
Awesome location.